Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the most in-depth and passionate analysis of the glamorous, scandalous, and ever-dramatic world of Los Angeles fashion. Today is a fantastic day to unpack the latest shocking twists that are shaking the Forrester and Logan dynasties to their very core, so let us dive right into the heart of the drama. The hallowed halls of Forrester Creations have always been a battleground for power, ego, and family loyalty. But the recent events have shattered whatever fragile peace remained between the Forrester patriarchs and the Logan women. The devastating visual of Eric Forrester publicly humiliating his wife, Donna Logan Forrester, and ruthlessly escorting her out of the executive office has sent shockwaves through the entire fashion industry. This was not just a corporate firing, it was a brutal, cold-blooded display of patriarchal dominance. Eric, feeling betrayed that Donna kept Katie Logan's secret about poaching Hope Logan Spencer, demanded absolute, one-sided loyalty. He completely ignored his own hypocritical history, conveniently forgetting the times he forced Donna to keep his severe health crises and personal vulnerabilities a secret from the rest of the Forrester family. Donna was left in tears, her career destroyed, and her marriage in ruins, all because she tried to protect her sisters. Witnessing this horrific spectacle of a husband discarding his wife like a broken mannequin was none other than Hope Logan Spencer. Hope, who has been enduring her own severe emotional and physical trauma after being disowned and evicted by her mother, Brooke Logan Forrester, watched from the shadows as Eric's cruelty unfolded. Seeing her sweet, loving aunt reduced to tears and publicly shamed by the Forrester patriarch ignited a fierce, protective fire within Hope. The crushing guilt she felt over her secret defection to Logan Creations momentarily gave way to a profound, terrifying realization about the systemic abuse the Logan women endure at the hands of the Forrester men. Hope realized that Eric's actions were not an isolated incident of anger, but rather a glaring symptom of a deeply rooted patriarchal disease that infects the entire Forrester bloodline. Armed with this dark epiphany, Hope sought out her estranged mother. The tension between Brooke and Hope has been at an absolute boiling point, culminating in Brooke violently smashing a monitor at the Logan offices, declaring Katie her #1 enemy, and officially evicting Hope and Liam Spencer from the cabin on the Logan estate. Brooke's maternal rage has been an impenetrable fortress of resentment and heartbreak. However, when Hope arrives to confront her mother this time, she did not come to beg for forgiveness or to offer vague excuses for her defection. Instead, Hope came to hold up a harsh, unforgiving mirror to Brooke's life, determined to make her mother see the toxic reality of her marriage to Ridge Forrester. Hope's confrontation with Brooke was nothing short of explosive. With tears of desperate clarity in her eyes, Hope described the agonizing scene of Eric humiliating Donna, using it as a chilling cautionary tale. Hope passionately warned Brooke that Ridge Forrester shares the exact same patriarchal, dictatorial nature as his father. She argued that the Forrester men operate under a delusion of absolute supremacy, demanding that the women in their lives sacrifice their own blood relatives on the altar of Forrester loyalty. Hope pointed out that Ridge does not view Brooke as an equal partner in life or in business. He views her as a subject to be ruled, a beautiful pawn to be maneuvered on his corporate chessboard whenever it suits his grand design. To drive her point home, Hope relentlessly dissected Ridge's recent behavior, exposing his actions as calculated emotional manipulation. She reminded Brooke of the humiliating co-CEO battle, where Ridge strung Brooke along, allowing her to believe she had a voice in the company's future, only to brutally shut down her pitch in order to protect his daughter Steffy Forrester Finnegan's absolute power. Hope highlighted how Ridge unilaterally promoted Zende Forrester Domings to lead designer of the Hope for the future line without ever consulting Hope, proving that the Forrester men have zero respect for the creative autonomy of the women who build their brands. Furthermore, Hope brought up Ridge's current reign of terror over young Electra Forrester, Following the violent altercation between Will Spencer and R.J. Forrester, Ridge did not act as a mediator, he acted as a tyrant. He cornered a heartbroken Elektra at the beach house, issuing a harsh, uncompromising ultimatum that she must permanently sever all ties with Will to save her career at Forrester Creations. Hope used this as undeniable proof that Ridge uses his executive power to manipulate, control, and isolate women, forcing them to bend to his will under the threat of professional and personal ruin. Hope's voice trembled with emotion as she delivered her most devastating argument yet. Ridge is intentionally using his power to manipulate Brooke's emotions and deliberately tear their mother-daughter relationship apart. Hope argued that Ridge thrives on the division between the Logans. By feeding Brooke's anger toward Katie and Hope, Ridge is successfully isolating Brooke from her own family, ensuring that he remains the only anchor in her life. Hope pleaded with her mother to see that Ridge's outrage over the Logan defection is not about protecting Brooke's feelings. It is about maintaining his absolute control over the Forrester Empire and punishing anyone who dares to challenge his authority. The climax of Hope's impassioned speech was a plea that shook the very foundation of the Logan estate. Looking her mother dead in the eye, Hope declared that there is only one way for Brooke to regain her self-respect, her independence, and her soul. Hope urged Brooke to file for divorce. She argued that as long as Brooke remains married to Ridge, she will always be a second-class citizen in her own life, constantly forced to apologize for the actions of her family, while the Forresters are given a free pass for their relentless cruelty. Divorce, Hope insisted, is the only weapon Brooke has left to shatter the chains of the Forrester patriarchy. Hope emphasized that this drastic step is not just about Brooke's happiness, it is about protecting their family. The Logan children are being chewed up and spat out by the Forrester machine. Hope's own creative legacy was hijacked and shelved by Steffy and Ridge. Will Spencer's life has been turned upside down, resulting in a violent breakdown and the loss of his relationship with Elektra, all because of the suffocating pressure of the corporate war. Hope passionately argued that Brooke needs to step up as the true matriarch of the Logan family and protect her bloodline from the Forresters' excessive, toxic control. She begged Brooke to realize that her loyalty to Ridge is actively destroying the people she loves the most. The psychological impact of Hope's words on Brooke was immediate and profound. For weeks, Brooke has been consumed by a blinding, self-righteous fury directed entirely at Hope and Katie. She felt betrayed, abandoned, and humiliated by her daughter's secret contract with Logan Creations. But as Hope laid out the undeniable pattern of Forrester abuse, the walls of Brooke's anger began to crumble, replaced by a terrifying, existential realization. The words hit her like a freight train, echoing the deep-seated, unspoken doubts that have haunted her marriage for decades. Brooke's mind began to race, replaying the endless compromises she has made to keep Ridge happy. She thought about the countless times she was pushed aside, silenced, or told to compromise her own values for the sake of Steffy, Thomas, or the Forrester legacy. She remembered the sting of Ridge rejecting her bid for the co-CEO position, realizing now that it was never about her qualifications. It was about Ridge ensuring that a Forrester always holds the ultimate power over a Logan. The illusion of her grand, epic romance with Ridge began to shatter, revealing the cold, hard bars of a gilded cage. The realization that she might just be a tool for Ridge to maintain his power struck Brooke to her core. She looked at her history with the Forrester family and saw a cycle of conditional love. She is adored when she is compliant, but the moment she or her family steps out of line, she is subjected to Ridge's towering judgment and emotional withdrawal. Seeing Donna discarded so easily by Eric was the final piece of the puzzle. Brooke realized that if Eric could throw Donna onto the street after everything they have survived together, Ridge is capable of doing the exact same thing to her if she ever truly challenges his authority. This psychological awakening triggered a massive internal crisis for Brooke. The woman who has defined her entire adult life by her relationship with Ridge Forrester suddenly felt like a stranger in her own skin. She began to deeply question the fundamental fairness of her marriage. Is Ridge truly her partner, or is he simply her warden? Has he been subtly manipulating her emotions all these years, weaponizing her love for him to keep her isolated and dependent? The maternal rage she felt toward Hope slowly transformed into a profound, aching sorrow for the years she has spent bowing to the Forrester patriarchy. As the tears streamed down Brooke's face, they were no longer tears of heartbreak over Hope's defection. They were tears of liberation. The iconic blonde, who has survived countless scandals, heartbreaks, and corporate wars, felt a familiar spark of rebellion igniting within her soul. Hope's desperate plea for her to regain her self-respect resonated with a part of Brooke that she had buried long ago. She realized that by allowing Ridge to dictate her anger toward her daughter and her sisters, she was actively participating in her own subjugation. She was letting the Forrester men win. This monumental shift in Brooke's psychology sets the stage for a seismic disruption in the Los Angeles fashion landscape. With Donna unemployed, heartbroken, and facing the total collapse of her marriage to Eric, and Brooke now seriously contemplating divorce to escape Ridge's manipulative control, the Logan sisters are standing at a historic crossroads. They have been stripped of their titles, their dignity, and their security within Forrester Creations. But instead of breaking them, this shared trauma is forging an unbreakable bond of sisterhood and a burning desire for vengeance. Speculation is running wild across the industry about what the Logan women will do next. Will Brooke and Donna simply join Katie and Hope at Logan Creations? While Katie's fashion house is currently riding the massive wave of success from the Hope by Logan launch, absorbing to more high-profile executives might be a logistical challenge. However, the combined industry knowledge, public relations mastery, and sheer star power of all the Logan women under one roof would create an unstoppable corporate juggernaut that could easily crush Forrester Creations into dust. But there is an even more tantalizing rumor whispering through the corridors of power. Will Brooke and Donna form their own entirely new company? Imagine the ultimate revenge. Brooke Logan, a woman whose name is synonymous with beauty, passion, and legacy, teaming up with Donna to launch a brand new fashion empire completely independent of both Spencer and Forrester money. They could create a sister company to Logan Creations, forming a unified corporate alliance that completely dominates every demographic of the fashion market. If Brooke and Donna were to strike out on their own, it would be the ultimate declaration of independence. It would prove to Eric and Ridge that the Logan women are not merely beautiful accessories to be worn and discarded. At their convenience, they are fierce, brilliant, and ruthless businesswomen who can build their own thrones. A new company founded on the ashes of their Forrester marriages would not only secure their financial independence, but would also serve as a permanent, glaring reminder of the Forrester men's greatest failure. The patriarchal control that Eric and Ridge have wielded so aggressively has spectacularly backfired. By demanding absolute submission and punishing any perceived disloyalty with extreme prejudice, they have inadvertently awakened a sleeping dragon. Hope's courageous decision to stand up to her mother and expose the toxic reality of the Forrester men has changed the trajectory of their family forever. Brooke Logan Forrester is no longer a blind, obedient wife. She is an awakened, scorned woman evaluating the true cost of her marriage. As the dust settles on Eric's haute couture disaster and the spectacular triumph of the Logan launch, the real war is only just beginning. Ridge Forrester may think he has won by keeping Brooke isolated and angry at her daughter, but he is completely unaware of the psychological earthquake that has just fractured the foundation of his marriage. Brooke's realization that she must divorce Ridge to regain her self-respect and protect her children from Forrester manipulation is a ticking time bomb. When that bomb finally detonates, it will not just end a marriage. It will birth a new era of Logan supremacy, leaving the Forrester patriarchs to rule over the ashes of the empire they destroyed with their own arrogance.